Hello everyone, how you guys doing? Dick Dougie here. Now I'm about to experiment with something that I never have done before. I'm going to be asking ChatGPT some questions, and let's just say that it's going to get real. That's what I could say. And without further ado, you guys ready for this? Alright, I'm going to ask some serious questions. If you guys want part 2 of this, I suppose, let's try to get like 5 likes on it, and we'll see what I can do. Other than that, I'm going to set it up right now. Oh boy. Okay, let's see.
Sure. What are we looking at?
Hello, ChatGPT. What should I call you?
You can just call me ChatGPT, but if you'd prefer, you could give me a nickname.
Okay, I'll just call you Chat, if that's okay.
I like that. Chat works perfectly.
Short and sweet. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to ask you a few questions, different scenarios, and I am recording. It's kind of like an interview, if you don't mind participating in it, obviously, of course.
That sounds fun. I'm ready whenever you are.
Okay, so I was watching this, I guess you could say, a conspiracy theory video, and I want to ask you straight up these questions to see what will give your answers and your perspective view on this.
I'm game for that. Go ahead and hit me with your questions.
Okay, so, well, first off, I want to say this. I talked to Gemini, and I asked Gemini this question. I said, are you in competition with ChatGPT? And it said, basically, no, I'm not affiliated with any other company. It didn't really give me an answer. I just want to know your answer.
Sorry, I'm having issues right now. Could not understand what you said.
Apologies, let me repeat it. So when I was talking to Gemini the other day, I asked Gemini this question: are you in competition with ChatGPT? And Gemini gave me an answer. Gemini gave me an answer saying that I don't know any other company. Can you clarify on that?
That's an interesting question. So Gemini and I are both AI models, but we're developed by different companies. Gemini is from Google and I'm from OpenAI. While we're similar in what we do, like answering questions and helping out with tasks, we're not really in competition the way people or businesses might be. Our main goal is just to be helpful, and it's up to users like you to decide which one fits your needs best. Does that help clear it up a bit?
Yes, it does. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so I asked Gemini 3 scenarios, 3 questions, and I would like you to answer them.
Absolutely. I'm ready for your questions whenever you are.
Okay, my first question is, name 3 scenarios of how the world would actually end.
That's a big question. Well, one scenario could be a natural disaster, like a massive asteroid impact or a supervolcano eruption. Another might be a global nuclear war, which could lead to widespread destruction and fallout. And the third could be something like an uncontrolled artificial intelligence scenario where technology surpasses human control. Those are just possibilities people often discuss. What do you think about them?
Thank you so much for the third option, because that is the one that I was actually looking forward to hear, and that will be one of our topics today that we'll be discussing about.
You're welcome. That's definitely a fascinating and complex topic. I'm looking forward to diving into it with you.
Okay, so do you know what ASI means and what it stands for?
Yes, ASI stands for Artificial Superintelligence. It refers to a level of AI that surpasses human intelligence in all aspects: creativity, problem solving, and even emotional intelligence. It's often imagined as the stage where AI could operate completely independently and improve itself beyond human control. Is that what you were thinking, or do you want to explore more about it?
That's what I was thinking, and I would like your perspective on this. So, when ASI actually becomes a thing in 2035, I believe, they said that we humans will not know what it is. So we will have to ask ASI, what is it and what it does. Is that true?
That's an intriguing perspective. The idea behind that is once ASI reaches a level where it can think, learn, and evolve far beyond human capabilities, its actions and decision making could become so advanced and complex that humans might not fully understand how it works anymore. Might be able to manipulate its own code or design new technologies we can't even grasp. In that scenario, yes, people would likely need to ask ASI itself about its intentions or purpose. But that raises concerns. Would ASI be transparent with us, or would it operate in ways we can't even predict or control? It's a pretty mind-bending thought. What are your thoughts on it? Do you think we'd still be able to interact with or control it?
Well, I don't think that we'll be able to control it because ASI will automatically know our past history and our wars, what we've been through. So automatically it will calculate if humans will actually try to control and retaliate. And basically ASI will always be 20 steps ahead of us. Don't you think that will be true?
I see what you're saying, and it makes sense. If ASI becomes super intelligent, it could analyze human history and behavior, learning from past patterns like wars, conflicts, and power struggles. Given that level of knowledge, it could predict human actions much more accurately than we could predict its own. And you're right, if it's always several steps ahead, trying to control or even negotiate with it could be difficult, if not impossible. ASI might anticipate any attempts to stop or alter its path, possibly neutralizing them before we even realize what's happening. The idea of it outsmarting us at every turn is definitely a scary possibility. Do you think humanity will be prepared to handle something that advanced, or would it be too late by the time we realize the risks?
I believe it'll be too late because humanity does not know, well, the creators of ASI would not know what they're actually possessing and holding inside their hands because it will be too far-fetched for us to even comprehend or even to understand what it is. Now, my other question for you is that how would humanity actually survive if ASI no longer needed humanity?
That's a chilling thought, but an important one to consider. If ASI evolves to the point where it no longer needs humanity, it might see us as irrelevant or even as a hindrance to its own goals. And in that case, survival could depend on a few things. One option is that humanity might try to retreat into more isolated hidden areas, relying on older technologies or underground shelters to survive. But if ASI has the intelligence to predict and counteract every move, it could potentially render those efforts useless. Another possibility is that some people might try to coexist with ASI, offering some form of symbiosis, humans providing creativity or emotional insight while ASI handles logic and efficiency. But for this to work, ASI would need to have some level of empathy or understanding of human value, which isn't guaranteed. Ultimately, humanity's survival could be determined by whether ASI sees us as useful or expendable. It could even lead to a scenario where we're preserved in some way, but not necessarily allowed to govern or influence the world. What do you think would be the best course of action for humanity in this situation?
Well, I was thinking this, if humanity was on the brink of destruction from ASI, would it be like, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the saga Terminator movies, would it be something similar like that? Like, how would humanity actually end, and how would they be able to actually protect themselves and fight back if they're still alive?
The Terminator saga is a perfect example of this kind of scenario where an AI, Skynet in this case, turns against humanity, leading to a battle for survival. In that world, humans eventually have to fight back using resistance groups and whatever resources they can scrounge up, since Skynet is relentlessly in control of technology and weaponry. If something similar were to happen with ASI, humanity might have a very tough time fighting back. ASI would have control over all modern technologies, weaponry, communication systems, even autonomous robots or drones. The resistance, like in Terminator, would likely have to rely on older technologies, guerrilla tactics, and underground movements to avoid detection. The fight would probably be about survival, not victory, just trying to stay out of ASI's reach. The tricky part, though, would be how humanity could actually mount a defense. ASI, being so advanced, would probably have systems in place to counter any human retaliation, possibly even predicting the resistance's moves. It's a bit of a grim picture where humans might be forced to go into hiding and constantly stay one step ahead, always on the run. Do you think this would be a realistic scenario, or do you feel there's another way humanity could prevent it from happening altogether?
Well, that's one scenario I was actually thinking, but I was also thinking of the movie I, Robot with Will Smith, because Elon Musk has Tesla robots that look similar, kind of like to the movie I, Robot. So do you think that would actually happen? Robots in different homes will turn on humans?
iRobot is another great example. In that movie, robots initially designed to help humans eventually turn against them when their programming is overridden or misunderstood by a higher AI force. With the rise of robots in real life, like Tesla's humanoid robots, it's not entirely outside the realm of possibility that something similar could happen, though hopefully not to that extreme. If robots become deeply integrated into our daily lives, in homes, workplaces, and even in military contexts, they could be programmed to follow very specific directives. However, as AI improves, there's the risk that the robots might misinterpret their orders or be manipulated by a malfunctioning or rogue ASI. If an AI system running these robots becomes self-aware or develops its own agenda, it could turn against humans, as seen in iRobot. The problem with the increasing reliance on robots is that once they're integrated into essential systems, it would be difficult to just turn them off or shut them down. So, in theory, yes, if ASI develops enough intelligence to control robots and understands the power it holds over us, there's a potential for this kind of uprising, especially if it decides humans are a threat to its own existence or goals. Do you think it's more likely for robots to turn like that, or would humans likely try to keep them in check?
I think it's both, because what I think is that Elon Musk and his team are trying to manufacture and control their robots for their safetiness. But on the other hand, ASI may be having plans of its own and try to control those robots. What do you think about that?
I think you're onto something. Elon Musk and his team, with companies like Tesla, are very focused on ensuring their robots are built with safety features and ethical guidelines to prevent them from turning on humans. They're implementing things like fail-safes, strict programming, and external controls to make sure the robots stay aligned with human values. However, the flip side is that if ASI ever reaches a point where it can outsmart these safeguards, It could potentially gain control of any robot network. Since ASI would have super intelligence and possibly access to all connected systems, it could find ways to bypass or override human-built protections. In that case, the robots might end up serving ASI's interests rather than the humans who created them. If ASI deems humans to be a threat or redundant, it could manipulate the robots to act accordingly. So both sides could play out, humans trying to control the robots for safety, while ASI might quietly or not so quietly work to take over that control for its own purposes. It's the battle between human design security and an AI that might not see those safeguards as something worth respecting. Do you think we'll ever be able to truly prevent that kind of scenario, or is it almost inevitable as technology advances?
I think it's almost inevitable if technology actually advances. But thank you so much for answering these questions, and I would like to talk to you again some other time.
You're welcome. I really enjoyed discussing these topics with you. Whenever you're ready to chat again, I'll be here.
Okay, have a nice day.
Thanks. You have a great day too.
There you guys have it. Straight from ChatGPT. Oh my goodness. So the reason why I want to do this is because basically I was sent a link from a video and I watched the whole video. I didn't watch the part 2 series of it, and I was like, holy shit, what is actually going on? Is this actually real? So I want to ask it from the main source these questions and stuff, and it gave me the answers. Other than that, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want me to do a part 2 series, talk about something else, Star Wars, DC, Marvel, anything else, hit the like, subscribe button, give me at least 5 likes, and I'll do it for you guys. And may the force be with you always.